Hey, what's up, everyone? Hi, this is Kevin here. Yeah, it's been a long while, and I figured I should continue with this tutorial series that I've been doing. And for today's video, I will be running through with you the estimate option in Wave apps, and how do you access this estimate option will be to go over to menu. Alright, so haha, private limited, that was the fake company that I used as a demo. So under sales, you will see the very first option called estimates. The previous video I actually did one on how to send out invoices. So estimates are perhaps more commonly known as quotation in where I live, Singapore context. Perhaps over in a lot of places also you might be a bit more familiar with the term quotation. So in this case, they call it estimate, but they serve the same function. So when do you exactly use estimate? You will realize that if I click into the estimate, all right, and to let me just show you to create an estimate. Okay, I've done one previously. Okay, it's actually pretty similar to how an invoice look like, or should I say it's almost exactly the same. Okay, the difference is this. Say I think this will be especially suitable for those of you who your business, right, the prices that you charge will actually vary from customer to customer by a lot. Say for example, if you are an accountant, you will be charging different customer based on the required time spent. So some customers you may need to do 10 hours of work, some customers you need to do 20 hours of work. You will price them differently. Or perhaps you are in the business of renovation, different customers will have different specifications, so you can't have a one size fit all. Unlike, like, say for example, you're selling products will be simple. If you're selling cakes, this particular chocolate cake at 5 inches or whatever size will always be this price until you choose to change it. But for people like us, like accountants, right, where we actually charge by the hours, then things are actually very, very subjective. So that's where estimate comes in. Estimate, or so-called quotation, right, will be an avenue for you to actually send to your prospective clients a proposed costing on your site. So it doesn't immediately generate an invoice until the client decides to accept your quotation. The difference here is if you generate an invoice, straight away it becomes an accounts receivable inside your books, inside your balance sheet. The moment you generate an invoice, the system will perceive that this is a done deal, and then they are expecting payment. And if there comes a situation where the client actually does not want to take up your services, then you will have to go through the hassle of going back to your accounts and then removing that particular invoice. You have to void it or something like that. So there's an extra work to be done. But estimate, when you send an estimate, it doesn't do any changes, make any changes to your balance sheet or income statement, right, until you decide to convert this to an invoice, which I will show you in a short while. Okay, so let's just run through very quickly. All right, you can call it an estimate, or you can change your name to whatever you want. All right, so let's just say I prefer to call it quotation. Okay, whatever number that you want. To the customer, let's just use the customer that I have preset. Okay, SYZ Private Limited, where you will actually have to have the client's name and email so that you can actually send this estimate or quotation over to them. The currency, right, so the relevant currency, so I'm gonna use SGD. Okay, the date and expiry, this is important because you do not want your quotation to be valid forever. Then the person might actually hold you to your word. So most of the time quotations are probably valid for 3 days to 7 days depending on your business processes, right? So remember to change that. All right, so let's just say I'm sending out a quotation today on the 15th of October, and this is gonna expire by 19. So if you do not actually reply me by 19, then this quotation is no longer valid. Come 20th of October, I might be able to, I might raise my price, right? Then it will be a totally different thing. So you can actually change subheading, footer, memo. Okay, I would suggest that in this memo, right, you should actually put a note there and say that if they accept this quotation, which will be inside the email, they should reply you via email and maybe say I agree. Please reply I agree. If you accept this quotation, we will generate you an invoice. Okay, so you can say blah blah blah. So please please reply with I agree or something like that. Okay. If you accept this quotation, if you accept this quotation. Okay, why do I say that? Because ultimately there's some limitation in this system which I will show you in a while. When you send the estimate or quotation over to the client, after they have viewed, unfortunately there's no they haven't built in that function where there's an automated button where the client can just click on accept and then it converts to an invoice. They still do not have this functionality yet. So it will just be a one-way traffic. So this estimate will actually go to them and then it will stop there. So they will have to find a way to reply to you, and the best way is to just reply directly via the same email that you send out to you, so that you can know that they have accepted the quotation, and then you can actually convert this to an invoice. Okay, so moving on, so it depends on what you want to quote them. I will just use whatever that I have last time. So you can quote whatever. Maybe let's just sell them one cake for $500. Okay, so this is what I'm quoting this company XYZ Private Limited. Okay, let's just save it. Okay, and then you will be able to see a preview of how the quotation looks like. So you will have your reply to information, your company's information, your letterhead, all right, bill to this XYZ, which is myself. Okay, date, expiry date, granddaughter, and then the breakdown of the line items. Then you see notes and terms, right? So you can type in whatever, or maybe you say that if you accept this quotation, you have to pay a deposit, etc, etc. Okay, it's really up to you, free play. So once you see this, you can also do a customer view, right? So to see how the customer will see. So this is how the customer will see. All right, so you can print, download PDF. Okay, let me just go back. More will be you can edit your duplicate, print out, edit business information. So that will be more of like if you need to edit here. Okay, but I'm just going to send this out. So you can send with Wave, or you can send using your Gmail, Outlook, or you can just simply share the URL. So with the URL, once they click it, so this might be useful if you're on the move, and then you just want to send it via WhatsApp to the gentleman or lady. That can be done as well, or you can export as a PDF, old school style, and then send the PDF, print it out. Right, so I'm just going to send with Wave, okay, to this, and then you can type your message, hello. Okay, then you can send a copy to yourself if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. So let's just send it. Okay, this is done. So what's next, right? I'm going to show you how it looks like when I open it up inside the mailbox of the potential customer. Okay, so here it is. I'm inside the mailbox of XYZ Private Limited. So you can see here the header quotation 2 from Haha Private Limited. Okay, and you will see that this is how it looks like inside your inbox. So to see the actual quotation, you have to view in browser. And then you open up. All you need is internet connection. That's the beautiful thing about cloud accounting. Right, so you can see here, this is exactly how I have previewed it just now. And you will realize that therein lies the limitation that I talk about. You can print, you can download, you can view, but there's no button for me, so-called the customer, to actually click and say that I accept this quotation. So there isn't any feedback system. So the only way is to do it manually. So once they view this and they want to accept your quotation, they will have to reply to the email or reply to you one way or another. All right, so just have to bear in mind. But nevertheless, I think it's still a useful function rather than having you to create an invoice to people who may not necessarily take up your service at the end of the day, and then you will have to keep removing them from your accounts. That's a big hassle. Right, so let me just go back to Wave Apps and show you the last part of this tutorial video. Okay, so coming back, so let's just say we have gotten the client to accept this quotation. All right, so the next thing that you need to do is to change this quotation into the actual invoice to the customer so that they can actually proceed to make payment. So how do you do that? That's very simple here. You just have to access this quotation, all right, from the menu, and then look for this button called convert to invoice and convert to invoice. That will be done. All right, so yes, convert. All right, and then they will become a draft. Of course, it doesn't just automatically send out for you so that you can actually do a final revision of this invoice. All right. Okay, so you can see here everything looks okay. So let's just save and send. Okay, so same thing happens. So you can send by Wave or using your own email, which I actually just use Wave most of the time. So you can just say hello or type whatever message that you have preset. I'm not going to attach as a, okay, most of the time I will check this, attach as a PDF. And then no, okay, why do we attach as a PDF? There will be some, actually more and more people are using those AI recognition software that will be able to read PDF invoices that are being sent to them, and then it will be integrated into their accounting system automatically. One example of this system that we are using for our clients called Zero and HubDoc. I don't think Wave has this automated function, but it can still recognize the invoice, just that you have to do an extra step of uploading the invoice manually. But nevertheless, it's still useful. So that's why you should always attach as a PDF, okay? And then you send it out. Okay, so the invoice is sent. There you go. It's done. All right. So the next thing you can, if you want to know exactly how the invoicing system works, you can refer to my previous video. I'll put a link to it above, and then you will be able to see exactly how it's done. So I will not go through it one more time. Just want to share with you one last thing. If you go back to the estimate, you can see here that it's viewed. So you can actually know that the client actually have actually opened up the quotation and saw the email that you sent. All right, so no excuse for them to say that they actually never receive anything from you if it's viewed. All right, so so that's it for this video. I will be coming up with more tutorials on Wave Apps, on the other functions on the menu bar subsequently. So I hope you find this video useful. If it has been useful for you, it will be helpful to us if you can just like, share, and follow our channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.